We currently have thousands of lasers operating in our Starlink constellation around Earth. Deploying that technology around the moon could connect it with hundreds of terabits of capacity. Together, this could provide the connectivity backbone between the Earth and the moon and enable gigabit connectivity anywhere on the lunar surface, providing data for rovers, habitats, and astronauts, and hopefully some incredible views for us back on Earth too. So all of that adds up to a lot of satellites. But the good news is that there's still plenty of space in space. But that said, the Starlink team takes space safety extremely seriously, and we work hard to encourage best practices across the entire industry so space stays open for as many people as possible.
There are tens of thousands of known space debris in low Earth orbit right now. All of that debris comes from man-made activities.
Yes, from SpaceX.
A lot of people talk about space being really congested, and they show this dust cloud around the Earth of all these points, and it looks like space is super, super crowded. I think if you take all the spacecraft that are in orbit, it's equivalent to about 3 aircraft flying over California at one time. So space is so much bigger, so many dimensions that are much beyond what we can comprehend. But even though it's big, there still is a potential that these satellites could collide and could hit each other if we don't proactively share information.
The orbit of objects follow
what do you guys think?
laws of motion,
Will it be successful?
So they orbit the Earth in very predictable trajectories as long as another force doesn't act on them. So you can reasonably fit millions of satellites into an orbital shell with that math. Obviously, to make that happen, you have to have really tight coordination between all those satellites. And
hey, Scott, welcome. Good evening, or in whichever time zone you are. What's the time of day for you?
We predict that a close approach will occur between another satellite or a piece of space debris. We use the thruster of the satellite.
Here, by the way, it's right now 1 a.m.
Trajectory of that object and reduce the probability of collision to effectively 0. Because most of the actual collision risk comes from the surface area of the solar panels, we lower the solar panels to reduce the cross-section in the plane of the close approach to further reduce risk. On Starlink, I'm also excited to talk about a program we call Stargaze. Cameras on the satellites looking up into space, measuring the star field. You can imagine 10,000 satellites staring up into space and detecting.
I really want to see one of those Starlink chains someday. I was always unlucky.
So we began detecting objects.
Either clouds or they were not bright enough.
50% of the objects with perigees below 600 kilometers. This project,
of course, later when the launch starts, I will hide the jet, of course.
So we have many
4 right now in Oregon.
Where an object came within 10
PM.
meters of a Starlink satellite, yet this was not predicted.
I guess.
This is extremely concerning because this type of incident could have resulted in a collision.
Last year we flew 165
right? PM.
As an industry leader, we would like to create a community where all industry providers share data back and forth. They tell us where their spacecraft are, they track their spacecraft as soon as they're deployed, they make them available to others so we know where everyone is. You know, there's some thought that if I keep my satellite position confidential and I don't share that with anyone, no one will know where my satellite is. Well, I think that's really fictitious. So we at SpaceX, we've taken the opposite approach.
Yes. So, how was your day? Guess you just finished work and now you have the Ship 19 launch. That's awesome. No, it's booster. Wait.
We as an industry have a tremendous obligation.
Which one was it?
Time at this formative state
it is Ship.
Each other, share best practices, and be good stewards amongst each other.
Don't have me tell lies here. Ship 39 and Booster 19. That way around. Sorry, my bad. Oops, close the window.
To maintain safety in low Earth orbit, it's incredibly important that we work together as satellite operators and are very transparent in the activities that we are conducting. I think that an irresponsible satellite operator is one who either doesn't know where their spacecraft is or where it's going to go, or isn't.
Why does it sometimes do that?
Space is big, but operators are not always predictable. We want to enable other missions, the Moon and Mars and interplanetary exploration.
Make any sense? Just stay active.
For the duration of humanity is incredibly important. Fundamentally, I think the message to operators is
finished with university. What are you studying?
in space. Transparent about where your satellite is and where it's going, and make sure you have the tools to ensure that that information is accurate all the time.
Starlink's future is bright and helping ensure space safety for all operators.
22 minutes, by the way, and I need to grab something to drink. I'll be right back.
The flight profile for today's test. As we've mentioned a few times already, there are numerous redesigns making their debut today across the entire launch vehicle. In light of this, we want to keep our learning focused on all that new hardware and software, so we're running a flight profile similar to our last 2 Starship flights in order to minimize new variables.
Yeah, and we'll start with liftoff, where Super Heavy ignites 33 brand new Raptor 3 engines. We power through ascent ahead of hot stage separation. Booster shuts down all but 5 sustainer engines. Stage 2 lights its Raptor engines while still attached to
Electrical engineering, first year. Engineering, it's nice. I did study informatics, computer science.
Soft splashdown a few miles off the coast from Starbase.
Yeah, Ship does a bunch of fun things like deploying 20 Starlink simulator satellites.
I finished many years ago.
Call them. Single engine Raptor relight and then re-entry. Everybody's favorite part. Lots of fun Technicolor.
How do you like it so far? A lot of maths, right?
All of that goes as planned. We will finish the test with a flip, a landing burn, and a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean.
Okay, splashdown. Yeah, that was expected.
Thanks to Starlink, we'll be going live to the Indian Ocean and chatting with the ship recovery team stationed out there.
I'm so excited for that. That's going to be awesome. So cool. But sit tight, because first we're going to go to Dan for a quick status check.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Everything's still looking good. We are not tracking any issues technically on the vehicle or on the pad. Range status continues.
No issues. Sounds good.
Both the range out here in the Gulf and out in the Indian Ocean. As you can see, we have started our propellant load. That happened at about 36 minutes before T0. We're loading about 20% faster on pad 2 than we did on pad 1. Our flight director, Ty Huntington's back.
Halfway loaded.
He was there for Starship's first flight test,
nice.
11 back for V3.
Yeah, I do like it. I do for years. Many years I did freelance as a mobile app developer, and I still work in that area and do mobile apps.
About T-35. We're going to continue loading all of this propellant on board until about 3 minutes right before launch. 3 minutes 20 on ship, 2 minutes 50.
I think I can see if it's possible for me to make the chat a bit smaller.
Still looking good. T0 set for 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Continuing to load prop, continuing to count down. All right. If you've been following,
if I adjust it here, what happens?
Sending the suborbital and they splash down in the Indian Ocean. How the heck do we see some of that? Well, we have our recovery team, our Starship recovery team.
That works.
One of their primary jobs is to get those re-entries.
Let's do it like that.
A whole lot more. We're going to take them now. We're joining them out in the Indian Ocean.
Or even a bit less. Lot of math.
From the recovery ops, he might be
Yep. Same for computer science.
How's everything looking out there in the ocean?
Let's try.
Dan, I can hear you loud and clear.
500.
We're sitting in about 8-foot waves, but it's looking like a clear day.
That's better.
Waiting for a ship to come on through.
All right, man. How many of these have you done? And like,
oh, he's on the ship.
Recovery team's primary job out there.
That's cool.
I've done 6 and now 7 of these missions, and with every mission we've seen it evolve.
And the connection is not the best. No, it's okay.
So just like we do over in the Gulf, the same kind of happens here. We send 1 to 2 boats out, and we make sure there's nothing in the area, so the rocket is clear to land. And then once we can guarantee that and have the rocket leave the pad, then we can proceed to imagery collection. So we have like.
I could, by the way, also try something.
All right, we'll see if we can get him back, but they're out there in the Indian Ocean. I think everyone's
sure how that works. Let me quickly try something. I move this over here. Okay, that's worse. But then I do something like this.
Splashdown zone.
Okay, and then we change some transforms
a couple
here.
of our other recovery folks out there are going to be flying drones to hopefully get that imagery of Starship coming back. It's super critical for us to see just how that heat shield performed after reentry, and just having them out there remote, just in the middle of nowhere, plays just a really critical role in just rapid iteration on Starship and its heat shield. So looking forward to hopefully seeing some views from them a little bit later.
Much better.
But for now, let's head back down to Kate
Should
and
have
Jake
a
for the
better
latest
quality
progress
now.
at Cape Canaveral in Florida.
Thanks, Dan. Now, if we want to get to the moon and then Mars as fast as possible, there's really only one answer: launch a lot more rockets.
Yeah, and to do that, we're going to need a few more launch
if I
pads
switch
and support
to
buildings,
this,
which is
you
exactly
see my
what
browser,
we're working
but
on
that's
over in
fine.
Florida. So originally built for Apollo and then the Space Shuttle, Launch Complex 39A has flown 126 Falcon missions since SpaceX reactivated the pad in 2017.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's that many. Fun fact, I actually hosted the live webcast for our very first launch at Pad 39A, and it was so exciting to see that come back to life. It's also exciting to see how today, almost 10 years later, the ongoing construction and development that will bring a second launch tower to Launch Complex 39A. You can see it ongoing there on your screen. It's designed to expand our capabilities to support Starship launches in the future, while also continuing to support Falcon Heavy missions from the original Apollo
That's not what I
Falcon
wanted.
launch tower.
Yeah, and we're also building a Starship launch pad at Slick 37.
Let's keep it like
to
that.
support the uptick in future launches, there's Gigabay, a giant assembly and maintenance facility designed to prep Starships ahead of Florida.
Hey, Jack, welcome. And good evening, night. Where are you located, by the way? Which time zone?
That's 24 rockets.
Is it night for you as well?
Absolutely crazy.
There'll be so many.
Yeah. So SpaceX's future in Florida is quickly taking shape with our very first launches on the horizon.
Yes, a horizon that aims for regular trips to the moon. Now, staying with the
sound
lunar
a bit louder
conversation,
for
we're going to
you.
head back up to Dan, who has Starship Vice President of Engineering, Bill Riley, our favorite webcast visitor, to talk about the moon.
That's right, Kate. Yeah, crashing the webcast again. Bill Riley,
About
VP
the moon?
of Starship Engineering. Thanks for coming, Bill. We wanted like a couple of minutes to geek out about the moon. Like Artemis 2.
Couple of
just
minutes,
flew humans
not
around
more
the
than
moon for the
15,
first time
please.
in like 50 years, more than 50 years. I personally was wildly caught up in it. I don't know how you felt about the whole thing.
Yeah, I found it really inspirational. I think part of being a spacefaring civilization is being out there exploring, and I thought Artemis 2 got us
Okay,
back
on
to the
X
moon
they
and back
start to
exploring and
post
being out
stuff now.
farther than we had been before.
It's always wild when you see space stuff kind of break through into the
Just
mainstream.
stuff that
Like,
we
it
saw
felt
in the
like that
stream
really
already.
did it. And I mean, that's going to continue happening. We're
Nothing
looking at a higher cadence of missions
additional.
in Artemis, and Starship's obviously going to play a pretty big role in the entire Artemis program. But like, what's kind of next on the horizon?
I think what's exciting about Artemis 3 is you'll see the landers introduced now. So, maybe we're talking to NASA about doing an Earth orbit rendezvous where the Starship-based lander could be in proximity to Orion or even more. I think that's really
We're not going to
the next step
do
throughout those landers.
an orbital flight. We are going suborbital again. Yeah. Expected is flight 14 to be maybe an orbital flight. We'll see.
So V3 is exciting because it really introduces it's designed to introduce all these fundamental foundational features that allow us to go out past the Earth. So for example, there's many features, but some that are visible are the docking adapters.
You have more control than here in my streaming software.
Then as we look out past V3, there's other configurations of
That thing I sent in the Discord is for an analog horror. I hope you like that genre.
and that think of the on-orbit propellant transfer.
What is analog horror?
And then that gas station
Like, are you doing
depot.
a movie?
The plan now, and the plan's been, but it's really emphasized now. We're not just going for flags and footprints. We're talking permanent infrastructure on the moon, right?
That's right. We have to build up to that capacity.
Like a movie with story and everything in Juno? Or give me some context.
We'll build into cargo landers like you see here, maybe bringing down a rover to the surface. Some infrastructure might even be staying inside the landers. And then as we look to an even brighter future, having a permanent presence in a moon base.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 starships.
I need to go to the moon. That's definitely in my. It sounds like a hell of a week-long vacation or one big trip. And I mean,
Yeah, I don't think I will ever go to the moon. I don't think normal people, in quotes, might be able to afford that. Yeah, I made it more quiet so that you can hear me. Sorry.
Stick around. Last year, the From 2 crew made
But
history.
maybe a week-long vacation is possible. Who knows? Going to orbit.
Wang. He was visiting one of the most remote places on the planet, and he had some exciting news.
Yeah, sorry. While I was talking, I lowered the volume.
Thank you for joining me to Bui Island, and this isolated island in the South Atlantic. It's arguably the most remote island in the world.
It looks super isolated. You're only there with a couple of people. Kind of feels like a space mission to me. So let's just jump right in. You are going to be on the first interplanetary mission on a Starship.
So it's going to be a flyby mission of Mars. So a lot of people are talking about how Mars will be like. We're going to fly to Mars. We're going to land on Mars.
By the way, if you haven't seen it,
but
I did publish
with a flyby.
Doing a flyby of Mars.
My latest video
that's
today.
A heck of a trip, but you're
a comparison between Starship and the SLS.
Right? Because if you're not landing on the surface, you spend a long time going out there. You're going to fly by it. It's going to be like just an insane couple of hours, and then it's a big trip back home. How are you kind of built to handle this kind of a journey?
This actually my style of spiral. I can stare at the map view on airplane all the way from takeoff to landing. So
I am not so much into horror things, but that sounds interesting. But is it going to be still made in Juno or Kerbal?
Yes, because even though it's just a flyby, it will try a lot of things that never be attempted before.
How do you kind of see these types of missions in kind of the grand...
T-minus 10 minutes, by the way.
It will light the fire. It will ignite imagination, and it will build the momentum. After we come back from Mars, you'll have an opportunity to take some real photos of Mars. Mars will no longer become a distant space. It will become reality.
Well, Chun, thanks for calling in from...
It seems to be quite windy there. Made in Juno, that's awesome. So also a space story, right?
Do the first flyby of Mars. It's
how long do you plan to work on this?
Oh man, fireworks indeed. Just incredible to be one of the first humans to become an interplanetary traveler while also joining Starship's first mission to fly past the moon.
Yeah, Chun is certainly a one-of-a-kind explorer. And it's even more exciting to know everyone can join a future Starship mission.
Yeah. If what you just heard excites you, challenges you, inspires you, we'd like to hear from you. Come join our team. Be one of the people walking past us out to the lawn to watch the world's best rocket launch. Help shape the literal future of humanity. Now, we need the best and the brightest, and we need you right now.
Yeah, and we have tons of openings all across the company where we're looking for talented engineers and technicians at all of our sites, including McGregor, Texas, where we test every single one of these Raptor V3 engines behind us. Bastrop, Texas, where we build and assemble Starlink.
That's very nice. Take your time. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, there's another video coming up for re-entry.
Like the fall weather, that might be the place for you.
And I'm planning on maybe doing one for landing.
A tremendous amount of activity happening right here at Starbase, Texas. Here and everywhere, it's all part of the incredible opportunity that we have to build the future of humanity.
Yeah, so if you're interested, visit spacex.com/careers to see these and all of our other openings.
Now, I can tell you that the crowd is certainly starting to grow. Behind us, you see the launch pad there for yourself. Once again, this is the first flight test of Starship version 3.
-8 minutes.
This will be the first time that we are debuting this booster, this ship, the launch pad that you see there. And you can see people walking over my shoulder here as our colleagues are...
I'd like to see that fuel progress diagram again.
Just over 7.5 minutes from now. It's pretty exciting stuff.
It's pretty exciting, and as a reminder, we're only a mile and a half away here. So we are very close, about as close as you can be, and we're definitely expecting to feel it.
Sorry to interrupt you, Jake. Hi. Do we have a mic?
Who's coming?
Hello, for those of you that might not know.
Why are you guys?
Welcome, Nikki. It's so nice to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh my gosh. What do you think the Barbs are going to say when they see you here at Starbase?
They better say all good things. But they're going to be excited, and they're probably going to want to come themselves next time.
I mean, anybody can come and watch the launches. It's super accessible to the public, so
anybody can come. Can I come?
Okay, Barbs, come on down, because this is a lot of fun. I'm excited. Is it about to happen at any minute?
So you see that number right there in the top left corner, 6.5 minutes.
6 minutes left?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, but this is historic. This is a major moment, y'all.
Yeah.
It is.
Is this your first rocket launch that you've seen live?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
How do you feel?
Very, very excited. I'm happy it's a good day. I thought it might be like...
I just noticed your shirt. You've got the right swag.
I love this shirt.
It's a great shirt. I have one as well.
And it's a great name, Starship.
I mean, how did you predict the future? Starships are meant to fly.
I do not know. But major shout out to Elon. Elon, thank you for everything that you're doing for humanity.
He's the man, for sure.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, re-entry was insane with the Starship. I had to try multiple times to get it right. That stream was interesting. I mean, it's up on YouTube if you want to watch it.
This brings us into terminal count. Dan, man, the anticipation is certainly growing here in the lobby and out on the lawn. What is it like up there?
Yeah, we are ready to go. We are getting into the final phase of our propellant loading. We are almost entirely full on ship on our main, still doing the header tanks, and we're looking well in excess of 90% on the booster, so we are looking good.
90%,
still not
nice.
tracking any range, any weather issues today, not tracking any technical problems on the vehicle, on the launch pad, looking good for liftoff in just under 5 minutes. Once we're done with propellant loading on the booster, you have over 11.5 million pounds of that liquid methane, liquid oxygen on those two stages. After that, we have to essentially get the pad ready for launch. We'll do something called pushbacks, where all of those lines running underground from the propellant farm up to the vehicle, they're going to clear back. They're going to push all that propellant back into
the space. The Starship one is 1-to-1 ratio, if I remember correctly.
Snoop in, we should see the engines do kind of final wiggle checks. That's how we steer the rocket. We're going to do those at about T-minus 100 seconds, so a minute 40, and then once we...
For the SLS one, I did quarter scale, because I didn't want to mess around with realism overall configs and stuff. But I guess the Starship is real scale by default, right?
Only stop if we have an issue. Not currently tracking one. We have one item that might hold us up a little bit, just based off of what we've
nothing's
seen in
going to
recent
hold us
static
up.
fires, but that's typically only been hanging out for a couple of extra seconds.
Hey, HM8HS.
And then once we pass T-minus 40 seconds,
Britannic
a lot of things
car,
will happen
right?
in rapid
It's
succession.
you, yes, from the Discord, right?
Yeah, that moment is called
how is your
QD,
RP1
or
install
quick
going?
disconnect vent gate. That's when we clear all the gas commodity lines that connect the pad to the vehicles. Both the ship and the booster configure their comm systems for flight and are
3
rapidly
minutes.
running leak checks on gas and fluid tanks. The booster goes to internal power and its engines get their final priming for launch, while the ship's engines begin their ascent bleed profile and arms the automatic flight safety system.
Yeah, and once we pass T-minus 40 seconds, we still have the ability to rapidly recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds and hold there to assess what
not
happened,
necessary.
review the data,
Let's go for
and
it.
decide if we can proceed again all the way down to T0. We estimate we have around 5 minutes of hold time there. The flame diverter on pad 2 activates at around T-minus 17 seconds, and it enters what is essentially the point of no return at T-minus 10 seconds. And there's a chance we could recycle, but the closer we get to T-minus 10, the lower that chance becomes.
All right, we are
Oh,
coming
we're
up
getting
on
close.
2 minutes. We have completed propellant loading on the booster, just shut down the fuel pump for loading onto the ship, so we're closing all of that out now. 2 minutes to go. One kind of exciting aspect to V3, we're not going to start the engines up in kind of different sets. All 33 of those Raptors going to turn on all at once. And you're going to see the booster move off the pad a whole lot quicker.
Once again, if you've just joined us, this is the first flight for version 3 of Starship. The ship, which is the upper...
You've been playing RP1 for 2.5 years, one of your favorite, but crashed a lot because of my... Ah, that sucks.
The launch pad that you see it sitting at, as well as the engines that power both the ship and the booster. Today's test flight is a massive step forward
Again, don't
in our
worry.
developmental program.
Once we get close to 0, I will close the chat, of course. We want to enjoy it in all its beauty.
Rocket do the talking as V3 fully comes alive.
T-minus 1 minute.
Sol now comes with a stock configuration, right? Stock scale. Did you try that? I'm gonna do a tutorial, installation tutorial for stocks and Sol, by the way, coming up next.
The timeline, not surprising as we are doing
Yeah,
this,
40-second pause,
flight
that's
off
expected.
Of pad 2. Sounds like we might already be clear. We held for a second just to make sure that the quick disconnect vents were basically ready for their final
Almost
throwbacks.
1 million viewers on that stream. Huh.
So we'll hang tight for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Like stock is 129 point something. Oh, continuing.
First flight of Starship V3.
Okay, I will
Psych
close
back
the
to
chat.
rapid recycle.
I will read it, of course, still, but
All right, so
not show it
hold
on the
here
stream.
for
Oh,
a
we jumped back
second.
to 41
Looks like
seconds.
we're still managing some pressures in the ship. Quick
I can
disconnect.
still show the chat then. Pressure in the quick disconnect? That's not good.
All right, still gonna
By
hang
the
out
way,
for
these
a
are
couple
the
seconds
that you
here
see
at
down.
T-minus
Not
40.
on this shot. You don't see them.
Again, not
The
surprising.
quick disconnects
This
are the
is
ones
new vehicle, new pad,
down on the ground,
doing
connecting
all
to
these
the
things
rocket.
for the very first time. Right now we are
Also
holding,
not here.
looking at some pressures in the quick disconnect and hold reset.
Okay,
And
we
we're
continue. There, you see it on the bottom, connecting the
Flight
rocket
director's
to
got
the
the launch.
ground. What did he say? Again, 41 seconds.
Back to
Come
rapid
on.
recycle, so we're gonna hold at T-minus 40 again.
Okay, I will go full volume for the launch.
Hang tight for a second. We'll see what tripped this last one. A reminder, we can hang out
Yeah.
for quite a few minutes.
RSS Reborn is quite VRAM and RAM hungry. Yep. That's the main benefit why Ballistic Fox started Sol. He like wanted, yeah, performance optimizations mostly. Come on. Don't leave us hanging here.
All right, we're continuing to hang out here at T-minus 40.
Yeah, we're continuing to hang out here. We absolutely do.
Team's taking a look right now at our diverter, so that water diverter underneath the system did trip a hold, but that basically just gives the team the chance to look at it, see if it's something that we need to troubleshoot in data or if it's something that we can clear this hold.
That was interesting on the SLS launch.
Minus 40 seconds. Starship
we had
and Super
radio
Heavy,
comms there.
fully loaded
and them
on the
saying,
pad.
yeah, we have the sensor tripping,
Clock
but
is
it's
rolling.
okay, we can continue, blah, blah, blah. Okay, 30 seconds.
2 hours 30, flight directors go for launch.
Okay, again, 41. Oh, come on. Why are you doing that to us?
And we kick back to rapid recycle again. Again, just a reminder, said it before, new pad, new rocket, learning new things about this hardware, performing in the flight environment.
I mean, Sol can also get pretty RAM hungry if you go with the add-on higher resolution textures, like 32 and especially 64K. That's crazy.
The promise, we're not just trying to prolong the anticipation. Team's taking a look. We've got a couple more minutes where we can hang out here. Again, it's not an unlimited time to pause at T-minus 40. We're keeping an eye on the propellant temperatures inside the vehicles. So we've got probably about 3 minutes or so left of hold time.
Okay, so not so much waiting time. That's good.
Team's taking a look at the hold that tripped on that arm for the quick disconnect on the tower.
What's up with that quick disconnect arm? Come on. I do live in Germany, that's correct. Yes.
Continuing to hold, got a couple minutes to try and clear this issue.
Please don't scrub the launch. Come on. Yeah, on that quick disconnect, on one of the quick disconnect arms, some sensor, some pressure sensor gave out of order values. And now I guess they are deciding if they can
still
continue anyway,
this issue.
or they need to scrap and fix it.
Probably got
But I
about
guess,
a minute or a minute and a half left of hold time.
yeah, exactly. After this 1.5 minutes, they need to try again tomorrow, I guess. But we want to see a launch. Come on. A nice camera angle. Inside the Starship engine
Flight control
area.
team confirmed, still
It's also
working through
nice.
the issue. Still have
Work
a short
harder.
amount of hold time still remaining.
Oh, I don't want to lose my hope, but to be honest, we might not see a launch today.
Still holding T minus 40.
What did I miss? You didn't miss anything. I can also click here to see. Oh, I'm still live. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. We are still pausing at 40 seconds. They are still investigating that quick disconnect issue. I'm losing my hope that they will resolve it and we will see a launch.
Still continuing to hold here at T minus 40. While we do that, the team's looking at temperatures of the propellant inside those tanks.
Yeah.
Check that against simulations that we've run in the past. There's some margin in those. We're still holding, no decision yet.
What do you think? Will we see a launch or not? Ah, they try again.
Hold reset, clocks is rolling.
Oh, 30 seconds. And again. It's always at 28 seconds.
Back into rapid recycle.
I think it is important that the pressure and the temperature is correct.
Alright, we're back.
Otherwise you will get issues in the when the engines burn the fuel, right?
This time.
Come on. Did we go from 41 to 40 seconds just now?
Alright, it
Might
is
be
sounding
scrubbed.
like we are not going to be able to clear this issue in time today.
That's what I thought.
So we are going to be standing down from mini launch.
Come on. And for that,
So
I
if
stayed
you're
up
just now joining
until
us, we got
2
the
a.m.
vehicle
almost.
totally loaded. We hit a couple of different holds as we worked through that count. Again, new rocket, new pad. We're learning about a lot about these systems as we execute them for the first time, and we're not able to basically troubleshoot all of these issues in those final seconds to get to launch. But that essentially makes this a wet dress rehearsal. We were able to fully load the vehicles.
They did a
and
wet
we're
dress
gonna take the
rehearsal
time
already.
Now, figure out what tripped us up before launch, and then actually get into a flight tomorrow. We do have the ability to essentially rapidly recycle. We are expecting to be able to make another flight attempt tomorrow, but obviously stay tuned to our social media at SpaceX on X and our website, spacex.com, for updates. So,
Yeah, no flight today. Okay, hopefully tomorrow, we'll see. Yeah, I will be streaming again, I guess, tomorrow. What's my favorite food? That would be spaghetti. Spaghetti, what is meatballs? How do you say spaghetti bolognese in English? No idea. I guess spaghetti meatballs. Yeah, the oxygen needs to be cold because it needs to say, yeah, it cannot get too warm, of course, that would be really bad. But I also think just plus or minus some degrees is already bad for the combustion, right? Anyway, with this nice view and the nice music and the stream buffering, Why does it start buffering now after everybody is switching off? Interesting. Yeah, guys, I need to go to bed. I need to work tomorrow. So, see you tomorrow, most likely. It was nice that you joined anyway. And see you tomorrow. Thank you and good night. Bye bye.